This is a kilogram of the most expensive food on Earth. Its price tag can exceed $35,000. But this story doesn't begin on a silver platter. It begins here, in the freezing chaos of the Caspian Basin. The vessel is the Tsarina, a reinforced river-sea trawler. Her steel hull screams as polar winds tear across the deck. On the bridge, Captain Nikolai Volkov doesn't watch the waves. He watches the sonar. He is not a fisherman. Not tonight. Tonight, he is a hunter. He's hunting a ghost, a specific genetic anomaly, the Albino Sterlet Sturgeon, Accipensa ruthenus. An animal so rare, only 1 in 6,000 carries the payload he needs. Nikolai is a man drowning in debt, and this is his final desperate gambit.
Bridge, this is Yuri. Deck plates are iced over. Current is pulling the nets hard to port.
On this ship, everything is calculated. The fuel burn, the strain on the winch hydraulics, the odds. And the odds are a statistical nightmare. But the payout is the only number that matters. A single mature female can carry 2 kilograms of eggs, a $60,000 haul from one living creature. The eggs are not black, they are a shimmering pale gold. The Russians have a word for it, Almas. It means diamond. But out here, in the dark, diamonds are worthless. Survival is the only currency, and as the storm closes in, the price for both is about to go up. On board, in a small, sterile lab, Dr. Elena Rostova is insulated from the storm. She doesn't see a prize. She sees a biological imperative. The target is Huso, the beluga sturgeon, a species that has remained virtually unchanged for 200 million years. These are not fish in the modern sense. They are living fossils. Armored with bony plates called scutes, they can grow over 7 meters long and weigh more than 1.5 tons. They are relics from a time before the dinosaurs. And the one they hunt is a statistical ghost, a genetic error. Albinism in this species is an event so rare, the odds of it occurring are almost unmeasurable. This simple mutation blocks the production of melanin, no dark pigment in the skin, and, critically, no pigment in the eggs. This is the mechanism that transforms common black roe into the pale, translucent gold of Almas. But the color is only half of the equation. The true value is written in time. A young sturgeon's eggs are simple, the flavor undeveloped. True Almas must be harvested from a female that is between 60 and 100 years old. Think about that. A creature that was alive during the last days of the Soviet Union. Over that century, the layers of fat and protein in the roe mature, developing an impossibly complex, nutty flavor that younger fish cannot replicate. It's a biological process that cannot be rushed and cannot be faked. And so, the mission is now brutally clear. You are not just looking for one fish in a million. You are looking for a centenarian, a living monument swimming in the dark. And you have to find it, before the Caspian simply decides you don't exist. Out here, the theory ends. The hunt is a brutal physical equation. Steel against water, diesel against the current. The Tsarina's reinforced hull, a 400-ton steel fist, punches through waves that hit like solid walls. Below deck, the only sound is a low, rhythmic pulse. The sonar is firing, Each ping is an acoustic interrogation of the riverbed, painting a three-dimensional map in cold green light. We see trenches, silt clouds, and shadows. Hundreds of them. This is the fundamental problem. The technology is blind to genetics. It can measure length and density, but it cannot see color. It cannot see age. It cannot find the 1 in 6,000 ghost. And so, the hunt becomes a factory process.
Snag on the port side. I think we're caught on a deep structure.
The water temperature is 2 degrees Celsius. Survival time, if unprotected, is measured in minutes. Yuri gears up. His job is to confront the machine's failure. He drops into a world of violent, liquid silence. The current here doesn't flow, it pulls with the force of a locomotive. His every movement is a fight against a force trying to tear him away. Down in the green gloom, he sees the problem. A tangle of steel cable caught on the petrified trunk of an ancient submerged tree. And all around him, the prehistoric silhouettes of sturgeon drift past, indifferent.
Okay. Knife is out. Cutting the snag line. Now. Net is free. Repeat, the net is free. Coming back to the bell.
He returns to a deck slick with ice and frantic with labor. The hydraulic winch groans, its motor screaming as it hauls 30 tons of dead weight and fighting fish from the depths. The net breaks the surface. But there is no glowing prize, no magnificent white giant. There is only a writhing mass of standard grey sterlets. The work is just beginning. Ton after ton of fish must be hauled, scanned, and released. This isn't a hunt, it is attrition, an industrial siege against a fortress of water, and time is running out. The deck of the Tsarina is now a processing line, a brutal biological ledger of failure. Ton after ton of dark grey sterlets are heaved onto the sorting table. And here, the industrial hunt transforms. It is no longer about hydraulics and steel, but about a single specific signal buried in living tissue. Dr. Elena Rostova stands amidst the chaos, her hands steady. Her instrument is not a net, but an ultrasound probe. This is a search conducted in shades of grey, on a screen barely the size of a human hand. For hours, the rhythm is one of disappointment. Yuri and Nikolai wrestle the slick, muscular bodies onto the steel table. Elena scans each one.
Male, release. Female, black eggs, release. Female, immature, release.
The mathematics of 1 in 6,000 begin to feel less like a statistic and more like a verdict. With every fish returned to the Caspian, fuel burns, the crew fatigues, and Nikolai's debt ticks higher. The polar storm has not passed. It has simply waited. Then, a new signal. Not from the deck, but from the bridge. A single, solitary sonar return. It is different. While the others swim in shoals, this target is large, isolated, holding its position deep within a submerged trench. A ghost on the screen.
Captain to the deck. We have a contact. Deploying the purse seine. Now.
The hydraulic winch groans again. The cable goes taut. But this time, the strain is different. The net rises through the black water, not as a tangled mass, but as a cradle. As it breaks the surface, the water inside seems to phosphoresce. It glows. Thrashing within is a single, magnificent creature. nearly 1.5 meters of pale, spectral white. The ghost in the net. All motion on deck stops. There is only the sound of the thrashing fish and the howling wind. Eleanor pushes through, her face a mask of focus. She presses the ultrasound probe against the smooth white belly. On the portable monitor, the grainy monochrome world resolves. We are looking inside the living legend. And we see it. Not the familiar grey scatter of Golden Roe, but a dense, tightly packed galaxy of large, perfect spheres. Ovaries, swollen with a biological fortune. She's full. It's Almas. The hunt is over. The operation is about to begin. The roar of the polar storm fades to a hum. We are no longer on a violent fishing deck. We are inside an operating room at sea. The environment has shifted from raw industrial force to absolute surgical precision. The ghost lies on a custom table, sedated, her gills gently bathed in circulating water. The protocol now is not about strength, but subtlety. If the fish panics, her body will release cortisol. It's a stress hormone that poisons the roe, turning it bitter and utterly worthless. And so, Dr. Elena's every move is measured, calm. This is the no-kill C-section, a procedure pioneered by scientists like Angela Curler to preserve these endangered creatures. Eleanor holds the scalpel. The incision must be impossibly shallow, parting the white skin but not the delicate membrane of the egg sac beneath. A millimeter too deep, and the pressure difference would rupture the entire $60,000 harvest. She makes the cut. The white belly parts. And inside, there is no blood. There is only light. Two massive, shimmering sacs of golden yellow eggs pulsing gently under the surgical lamps. Liquid treasure. They are gently lifted out. The fish, still alive, is now separate from her fortune. Now, raw nature must become a luxury product. The eggs, still in their membrane, are rubbed across a mesh sieve known as a riddle. It is a hypnotic, rhythmic process. The gentle friction separates the individual pearls from the tissue without crushing them. They fall like a shower of gold coins, bouncing softly. These raw or green eggs are then rinsed in purified, ice-cold water, washing away any impurity until only the glowing spheres remain. But the process isn't finished. Captain Nikolai enters the lab, not as a fisherman, but as an alchemist. He carries the salt. The method is Malossol, Russian for little salt. The quantity must be flawless, exactly 3.5% of the egg's total weight. As the fine crystals touch the golden pearls, they instantly firm up, their translucent glow intensifying. The operation is a success. The patient is stable, and on the table sits 2.4 kilograms of the rarest food on Earth. $72,000, harvested while the source remains alive. The final tally rests on a digital scale. 2.4 kilograms, $72,000. For Captain Nikolai, it is the end of a long debt. The retirement catch is real. But the operation is not over. The machine has its gold. Now it must pay its own cost. Dr. Elena works under the sterile lights, her task now one of restoration. This is no longer about harvesting, it is about honoring the agreement. She threads a half-circle taper needle with monofilament suture. Each stitch is a slow, methodical closure, sealing the line between human need and natural law. This is the final, critical step in the no-kill protocol. The ghost of the deep remains sedated, her life held in the balance by a single, precise seam. On deck, the storm has broken. Yuri, the diver, now cradles the ancient sturgeon in a specialized sling. The winch, which once hauled it from the depths, now performs a mirror image of the act, a controlled, gentle descent.
Crane lowering. Tension is stable. She's in the water.
The 100-year-old animal slips from the sling. For a moment, she hangs motionless in the black water. A flicker of her tail, and the white form dissolves back into the deep. She is gone, alive, ready to breed again. The story should end here, but it doesn't. Thousands of miles away, in a silent London club, a waiter in white gloves opens a 24-carat gold tin. A mother-of-pearl spoon lifts the glistening pearls. The storm, the steel, the science, the survival. All of it invisible, distilled into a single, perfect bite.
They call it food. We call it history. 1 in 6,000. And tonight, we beat the odds.
Subscribe the Pelagic Archives for more documentary.